Okay, so for a couple of weeks now, you guys have been asking me my opinion on Sound of Freedom, the new movie that's out, that's been a resounding success. It's made over $150 million at the box office. That was just after the first week release. Insane. I mean, we're talking more than Mission Impossible, like out of nowhere dark horse movie. You've been asking me my opinion on this, and I've been waiting to talk about this because I wanted to bring on the producer of the film so that I could ask him the questions that we all have about this movie. So he's with me now. This is Eduardo Verástegui. Thank you, Eduardo, for being on the show. I appreciate it.
No, thank you so much for this interview.
Okay, so before we even get into the topic of the film, which we all know is a very heavy topic, it's about child trafficking or child sex trafficking, I gotta ask you about the business aspect of this. This movie was not produced and distributed in a traditional way through the big Hollywood production companies, and yet it's beating, and it's continuing to beat like big box movies. How'd you guys do this?
Well, when Alejandro Monteverde, the director of this film, and I met Tim Ballard 8 years ago in Los Angeles, California, and when we heard for the first time, what child trafficking really is, when they told us in details, when they explained to us in details what these children are going through around the world, children that are 4, 5, 6, 7 years old, being raped for 10 to 15 times a day for many years, and then after, they're not fresh anymore because that's the vocabulary that they use, they're not fresh meat anymore. So they go to the second business, which is, organs trafficking. They open them and sell their organs. When you hear things like this, I mean, you don't sleep again. You don't sleep well again. Life is not the same again. And then you start asking yourself, what am I going to do with this information? I didn't know about child trafficking in details like now I know. So I cannot look the other way around. What am I going to do? Well, Alejandro and I were filmmakers. We have a weapon of mass instruction and inspiration. Movies can move people. Movies can create a movement, movie to movement. So with that, we have an amazing story. We have an amazing true American hero. I have an amazing director and writer, Alejandro Monteverde. He's one of the best directors, in my opinion, that the world hasn't discovered yet. Now it's different, but back in the days, right? So let's make a movie. And I thought it was going to be something very simple. And I thought, if I have a great story, great true American hero, great director, I'm going to start raising the funds. I'm going to bring the best, the best musicians, the best actors, the best everything to, so we can work in this project. And I thought Hollywood was going to be fighting for this film. I thought all the big studios were going to be fighting for this film. Little that I knew. So finally, when we finished the film, when we finished the script, we signed a beautiful deal with 20th Century Fox, actually Fox Latin America. And I thought, I was right. They're going to be fighting for this film. So what happened is that it was a great contract. It was the movie, a documentary, a TV series, and many other things. The president of Fox Latin America, Carlos Martinez, he was 100% with us. And it was almost too good to be true. Then what happened later when we finished the movie, Disney by Fox. So when Disney bought Fox, all my friends, all the angels that were inside of Fox helping me with this movie, they were not in Disney anymore. So now I was alone with this film, just finished with Disney. And they told me after they watched the film several times that this movie was not for them. So for a year and a half, I was just negotiating, how I can get out of that deal because they promised me in a contract that they were going to be doing a documentary, a TV series, and now they were not interested, but I have to pay them the loan that they gave me to finish the movie. So it was 1 year and a half negotiating. Finally, it was good people inside of Disney who were helping me. Not everyone, I think Disney has an agenda. I mean, I don't think they have an agenda. Sexualizing your children. Sorry for my English. Been doing a lot of interviews in Spanish lately. But anyway, and there was few people inside of Disney that they were literally, helping me. And because of them, I was able to just get out. And after that, just waiting, knocking doors, Netflix, Amazon, everyone passed. And I'm thinking, I was wrong. They're not fighting for the rights of this film. And for 3.5 years, 4 years, nothing until Angel Studios show up. Angel Studios, I never heard about them. They were in Provo in Utah, and they told me, Eduardo, we are your only option. And I shake hands with them, and we started this dream together. And these guys are unbelievable. I mean, they're crazy. They're crazy. I'm crazy. Alejandro Monteverde is crazy. And somehow these crazy people got together to do a crazy thing because it's crazy what is happening right now with this film. I mean, July 4th, Independence Day, the biggest blockbusters movies of the year, and that they have hundreds of millions of dollars for publicity, and we had nothing. You know, $14.5 million budget film with very little P&A, and we became the number one movie in America, July 4th. Can you imagine? I mean, I'm living the Mexican dream and the American dream at the same time. But this is very important what I'm about to tell you. What happened with two Mexican filmmakers, Alejandro Monteverde and myself? One, when we want to save lives. What happened when these two Mexican filmmakers meet with two American true heroes who wants to save lives? They shake hands, we work together. What is the result of that? Sound of Freedom, a movement that is designed to end child trafficking, a movement that is designed to save lives. What happened when the bad people of Mexico meet with the bad people of the United States, shake hands, work together? What is the result? Child trafficking, fentanyl, drugs, all the things that are killing our both countries. So we need to continue to bring the good people of Mexico and the good people of the United States to work together because only great things can happen.
That's fascinating. I wonder how many, maybe you can tell me this, how many high-powered Hollywood producers and studios have reached out to you after this has been such a success and congratulate? Have you heard anything from anyone, or is it just silence?
Silence, nothing. I think we have been ignored by the elite establishment of the entertainment in Hollywood, media, even actors, big movie stars, and they haven't said anything. Mainstream media, nothing. Maybe a few of them, but only to attack the movie. So isn't that weird? I mean, this movie, it shouldn't be like that because this movie is designed to save children, and this shouldn't be a political or anything else. You know, I always use this analogy of this little house full of children, and then one fire truck comes from one direction, the other fire truck comes from this other direction, and then another one. And when they get there in front of the little house, the house is on fire. There's a lot of children inside the house. Instead of bringing their water hose, you know, and extinguish the fire together and save the children, what they did is this. One driver tells the other driver, hey, this is my territory. The other one says, no, this is my territory. The other one says, no. You want the commission, you're a thief. No, you're the thief. No, When they finish arguing, the children are dead. So, and again, what they should have done instead is bring their water hose, extinguish the fire, save the children. Well, in real life, we're talking about millions of children and they're on fire. And my message to everyone, regardless of your religious beliefs, political, affiliation, we need all of us to bring our water hose out, extinguish the fire, and save the children, and then we can continue with our differences. And so I don't understand why the mainstream media, they don't see that, even if they don't agree with me in other things. Yes, but in this we should agree, all of us, because you have children, and we'll have children, nephews, nieces, or our own children. No children should. I close my eyes every day and I ask myself, what if this is my son? What if this is my daughter? The ones that are missing. What would I do? I will do anything. I will give my life, and I will hope that the entire world will do the same so they can help me to find my son, my daughter, my niece. Well, that's my motivation. I don't want this tragedy to happen to me for me to wake up and to do something about it. I want to do something now so that never happened to me, and never happened to you, and never happened to anybody anymore. Right now, while we were doing this interview, perhaps 3 children disappear in Mexico. I am in Mexico City right now. 3. Every minute, every 20 minutes, one more, and then another one, more than 50 a day, more than 21,000 a year. And this is the official numbers that the government gives us. I think there's a lot more. Every 30 seconds a child disappears. We can't be silenced, because evil triumphs when good people remain silent. And when good people remain silent, they're not good people anymore. They're part of the problem. I don't want to be in that category. I want to do something. I want to raise my voice. I want to give my life. And I'm so happy that this movie right now it's just flying to the sky so high. There's more than 10 million people that have seen the movie, and when they leave the theater, our biggest marketing is them. They get their iPhones like this in selfie style, and they share the review with their heart, with tears, and then they share that video with everyone in their social media. They are our billboards, our posters, because we didn't have budget at the time to pay for that. But this is the people's movie. They are reacting. They're loving the movie, and I'm loving them. And this is a movement. No one can stop this movement anymore. They can take me. They can take Tim Ballard and Caviezel. They cannot take millions of people. And this is just the beginning. The movie's coming out globally now.
I gotta tell you, I have a 2.5-year-old daughter, and I had a hard time watching this movie, especially the part about 15 minutes in when it wasn't the fictionalized part, when you were showing real videotape of child traffickers stealing children just from off the street, from out of their parents' yards, from being right next to adults. Like, that hit me in the gut in a way. Like, I felt like my face just went pale. I started shaking. Like, it really, really shook me to see that. And I want to hear about your experience. I mean, it's sometimes hard for people to believe, I think, that child sex trafficking is as prevalent as it is. But was there a point in this movie where you were just like, this is so awful?
Well, of course. But you know what? As I said before, it's more awful that something like this happened to you. And I remember when my sister Daniela, when I told her the first time, I'm working on this project, she said, I don't want to know, she said. And I said, Daniela, if someone needs to know, it's you, because you have children and they are the target. Don't wait for this to happen to you, for you to know and to wake up. It will be too late. This is the time to do something. This is the time where we need to get involved, because yes, it's easier for me to look the other way around. Oh, this is too awful. You know what? I'm going to produce a comedy because I want to, people to be happy. I mean, great, if that's your calling. But this is a calling for us. It was a calling. It was not something that we choose to do. It came to us. The information was revealed to us. So you have two options. Ignore it, then you're part of the problem, but do something about it. I choose the second one. And I'm so happy that so many people, millions of people, are choosing the second one. They want to do something about it. Because can you imagine if many people will not want to see this film because this is too awful, then this interview wouldn't happen, wouldn't exist. The fact that we are here is because we're talking about the success of the film. And why I'm doing so many interviews every day is because of that. How many people will be watching this interview? And maybe for the first time, they're going to hear about this. We're doing something now. We're saving lives. We're part of the movement. You're part of this movement now. I'm part of this movement. So with millions of people. And I hope the pressure of the people and the pressure of media like you, the good media, will go and resonate to government, because government, they have a responsibility to do something about it. I asked Tim Ballard one day, Hermano, I'm from Mexico, you are from the United States. Okay, you are from the most powerful country in the world. You guys have the money, you have the intelligence, you have the technology, you have the army, you have the police, you have everything. How come we don't finish this problem? And he said, because it's not a priority. Well, how can we turn this into priority? We need a movement, because I'm not the solution, Eduardo. I'm the solution for maybe one child, or 1,000 children, or 7,000 children. Of course, you save one child, you save the world. But we're not the solution for the millions of children. So what's the solution then? We need a movement. And maybe this movie that you guys are going to start producing and Alejandro directing, it's the beginning of a movement that can bring enough pressure to government so it can turn the problem into priority. And I think it's happening. We already showed the movie in Washington, D.C., the Capitol Hills. And we invited, it was hosted by Speaker of the House, Congress McCarthy, and it was unbelievable. Actually, I'm working on this Sound of Freedom Act with Roger Severino from the Heritage Foundation and Congressman Smith, because 2 years ago, 85,000 children who entered, the border between Mexico and the United States, when they were already inside of the United States, they were they give them in 30 days, these 85,000 children from Latin America to their sponsors. They had a number here, they called the number, sponsor came, take the kid without the right protocol, DNA test and everything else that they need to do just to make sure that this is the father or the uncle or whatever, right? We don't know where they are, these 85,000 children. They're in America right now. They're in the United States. We don't know where they are. Those numbers don't exist anymore. I mean, so this initiative is to put pressure on government, in Congress, so they can do something about it and find these children. Who's going to be against that? No, I don't want these children to, I want these children to keep, to be missing forever. No, everyone, even those who are involved in this crime publicly, they have to be against, at least for now, I don't know tomorrow, because there's already people, crazy people who are trying to legalize pedophilia.
It's awful. So my last question for you is about the criticism that your film has received from, well, a lot of the mainstream or Hollywood film critics. They claim that the content that in the movie is not true, that it's been dramatized, or that it's a conspiracy theory like the QAnon conspiracy theory. What's your response to this type of criticism?
That's ridiculous. Ridiculous, when we started this movie, this QAnon, or whatever the name is, that didn't exist at the time. And they should apologize to the children who were kidnapped and their lives were at risk. And they are going to come out soon because they're not children anymore. They're under 20, 19, 21 years old. And they were like, they want to keep their privacy. But after they heard all this nonsense, now they want to come out, and they will. They are going to do a lot of interviews, and they're going to share their experiences. And these people, these professional liars, they should apologize to these children. Number one. Number two, they should apologize to those people who rescue their lives to rescue these children. And they should apologize to those people who rescue a lot to tell that story. But you know what? God used even those crazy people, professional liars. They were trying to harm the movie. Somehow they end up helping us, because more people heard about the movie because of them, and they were like, they don't want me to watch this movie. I'm going to see it. So, hey, it's helping. Whatever they're doing, hey, I hope you repent, but you're not hurting us. You're helping us.
Well, listen, I guess there's a silver lining to every cloud. Eduardo Verástegui, thank you for coming on the show. Thank you for undertaking this movie. Congratulations on the success. I'm not only happy for you, I'm happy for the children who are going to be helped because of what you're doing. So we appreciate you. Thanks for being here.
Thank you so much. God bless you.